Hey everybody, Buzzsaw Gaming here, hanging out with my retro lizard, Mr. Buzzsaw, on the Atari Jaguar. In the background, Splatterhouse playing off the TurboGrafx 16, an Atari Jaguar RF switch. I'll talk about that in a minute. But anyways, these are the best failed consoles, in my opinion. Anyways, I love failed consoles. I mean, it's one of those unique things in the industry, especially failed consoles in the 90s. I mean, those are my favorite, absolute favorite. A lot of different hardware manufacturers are trying different things. You know, big companies throwing their hat in the ring, trying to make a system. And some are really great, and some were truly awful. So here I'm going to share with you 3 that I really like, that I have collections for, that I actively collect for, that I really enjoy playing. And yeah, down below maybe put what's your favorite failed console. I mean, there's a lot of them. There's quite a few. And you know, what's the definition of a failed console? I mean, I don't really know. But I think if the sales are really low is one indicator. If they lost the console war in their particular video game generation. If it was the hardware manufacturer's final console, I think that's a good sign as well. So also add-ons and different things like that, so different peripherals. So there's a lot of failed systems, and mostly in the 90s, also the 80s as well. So yeah, it's quite interesting. So, you know, usually I cover the really older stuff, so Generation 3 Nintendo Master System all the way through Generation 6, which is, you know, Xbox, PS2. So anything before or after I don't cover too much. But anyways, into my favorite failed consoles. This one here, I guess it'd be number 3 if we want to do a 3, 2, 1. The Sega Dreamcast right there. I love the Sega Dreamcast. It's such an awesome console. I mean, any day of the week, it's either my first or second favorite Sega console. I really love the Genesis and the Sega Dreamcast. I mean, these are just 1 and 2 for me. I really love it. The Dreamcast had so much heart. It was such an amazing console. I mean, it was such a great time when they came out strong. I mean, you know, people thought that they were, you know, going to hang around for much longer. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. And just wonderful games and innovation. And I like the console, the way it looks. I like the controller. The travel case is really cool. I've always liked the Sega Dreamcast travel case. And that's my small selection of games right there. I have, I think, 20 Dreamcast games. It's not a giant library. But, you know, in general, my collection is, you know, pretty... how do you say, pretty curtailed and not overwhelming. I try to keep it, you know, 20, 25, between 10 and 30 games, let's say, per console. I don't overdo it. The top there, you have Caution Seaman on Dreamcast. Quirky games, so much fun. Virtual Pet. Your virtual Mr. Buzzsaw. One of these days, he'll start talking back to me. D2, Survival Horror. I mean, just so many awesome games. Expendables. I mean, Virtua Tennis. Sonic Adventure. Shenmue. I mean, so many great games on the Dreamcast. It's just an absolute awesome console. You know, innovation, just really cool. End of an era. It was Sega's last console. So... definitely number 3 on my list of my, I guess, the best failed consoles. Oh, number 2. Oh, Atari Jaguar. Life was cut short as well for the Atari Jaguar. I mean, when it was out and it was advertised, I mean, it was everywhere. You couldn't miss it. They had a massive advertisement campaign, and the black and red was everywhere. You saw those Atari Jaguar eyes staring at you every time you went to a video game store. It was just unmistakable. And the 64 bits, I mean, it drew everybody in. Everybody just wanted it. It was awesome. And they did have some success. I mean, I really liked the console. They had Doom, which was like, you know, pretty much the best console port of Doom. I mean, Wolfenstein 3D, the best version of Wolfenstein right there. Alien vs. Predator. I mean, such a big major name on the Atari Jaguar. And Atari had that pedigree too from the 2600. So, I mean, they were around for a long time. And, you know, the Jaguar was their final console. So a lot like the Dreamcast was the end of Sega. The Atari Jaguar was the end of Atari. I mean, Skyhammer is awesome. There's a really cool 3D dystopian Blade Runner shooter type game. Brutal Sports Football, absolutely awesome. Tempest 2000, so much fun. The soundtrack is awesome. Power Drive Rally, Missile Command 3D. I mean, they've got some really good games. Got Iron Soldier down there at the bottom. So love the Atari Jaguar. I mean, that's my number 2 as far as like my favorite failed console. And they failed big. I mean, I think they sold only 250,000 units, while Dreamcast had around, I think, close to 10 million. So it was a pretty big epic failure. And TurboGrafx 16. I mean, I was rooting hard for them. That's the other thing. I root for the underdog. I mean, I've always been that kind of person. And TurboGrafx 16, I was rooting for. I was pushing for it. I was talking to everybody about it back in the day. It just has an awesome form factor. I love the controller. Very cool controller with the turbo buttons right there. Their arcade stick was awesome. Turbo tap, you can play up to 5 with up to 5 players with that. And the portable, I mean, the Turbo Express was, I mean, to this day, it's one of my favorite portable systems ever. I mean, it takes the exact same game from the system and you can play it portably. You get these gorgeous games like this on that little tiny screen back in the, you know, late 80s, early 90s. It was absolutely amazing. So just so innovative. And it was such a great time. I mean, Splatterhouse, Bloody Wolf. I mean, you got Newtopia, R-Type, you know, Dragon Spirit, Raiden, Bonk's Adventure, Bonk's Revenge, Devil's Crush, the best pinball game ever. I mean, the legendary Axe games. I mean, there's just so much there. Just absolutely awesome. Just an amazing system. I mean, Newtopia, there was like Zelda. This was like Zelda 3 before Zelda Link to the Past, before Zelda Link to the Past. So there I have my instruction manual for the TurboGrafx 16, the original instruction manual as well. Oh, and back there, I forgot to mention the Atari Jaguar box. Those piercing eyes. But yeah, I mean, that'd be my number 1, I'd say, favorite failed console is the TurboGrafx 16. Absolutely love it. It just a complete package right there. You know, an awesome system with an awesome portable and awesome games. I mean, what else is there, you know? So just absolutely love it. Mr. Buzzsaw is very serene today, very calm. He's almost like a statue. But anyways, that's my opinion. I mean, what's your opinion? Let me know down below. If you like the content, put a lizard emoji down below. Let me know your favorite failed console or favorite failed add-on. I mean, you know, maybe Sega CD, 32X, 3DO. Any 3DO fans out there? Oh, Sega Saturn. I know there's a lot of Sega Saturn fans out there. I mean, there's just so many failed consoles. I mean, you could say the Master System in there. You could put, you know, Atari 7800 or 5200 in there. I mean, there's a ton of failed consoles out there. So there's so many great ones to choose for. I mean, Neo Geo CD. I mean, you could even say that's a failed console. So there's quite a bit. So anyways, hope you guys are having a wonderful summer and have a wonderful day. Mr. Buzzsaw signing out.